All right, here we are recording. It's so nice to be here today sharing this space with you. JoAnn, I know you as JoAnn. Can you just introduce yourself for any listeners?
Sure. My name is JoAnn Binker.
Great, thanks. And let's just start by talking about what your connection is to the LGBT community.
Well, I'm gay myself, and I'm 58 years old, and I have been all my life, so I have a big connection
Yeah, yeah,
personally.
yeah, yeah. 58. I mean, the way you bike around, I don't know.
Yeah, there's it's not as fast and not as graceful.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure about even getting on one, but that's another story. So treadmills, maybe. Um, so yeah, so it sounds like you have a well-established attachment to the community. And were you aware that there is not an LGBTQ center um, in Bergen County? I know I was not. Um,
Right. Um, Honestly, I never thought about it. So,
yeah, yeah. I actually didn't either, and until taking part in this project. And it's interesting because I'm the mother of someone who identifies as genderqueer, and now thinking about my struggles and and my young person's struggles. Wow, how great it would have been if there was such a thing, and I didn't even know
right,
to look for such a thing.
right,
To then be disappointed that there wasn't one. I didn't even know.
right. I mean, I think that it would have definitely helped my self-esteem if I was when I was younger,
Yeah,
um, if there was one.
yeah,
And it would be nice, for there to be one for the younger generation right now.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, you know, it is nice that there's television has changed and, politics have changed and, you know, um, to give an LGBTQ person a little bit more confidence that they're not alone and alienated. But we didn't even have that really when I was growing up, television or a conversation in politics.
yeah,
So yeah, so
yeah. So for you growing up, there was a disconnect.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
Just knowing, just really always feeling that I was wrong, and I didn't even know anybody else like myself. Um, it's the old, uh, it sounds very cliche-ish. I can't even say the word for my generation, but you find out things about yourself, and maybe kids do today too, once you go to college
okay.
and you meet all different types of people from all different, areas of the
Yeah,
country and the world. And, then you kind of get a little bit more of an exploration about yourself. And that's kind of where I found other people like me.
yeah,
So I did know one or two girls growing up, but again, not like a community or
yeah,
a community center.
yeah,
That would have made a big difference, I think.
yeah, yeah.
So,
If Yeah, so yeah, and getting to college, you then had that experience, um, but you needed to go away and then be around, from around people from all over. And the reality is, that here in Bergen County, um, the 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 LGBT community is strong and present. and has a voice. And so support could be made available right here within our own county, if
Right.
if we can bring the advocacy work together, and if it's in a center, then it could be a well-known place for people in the community to go, as well as allies.
Right. Right. I mean, even for the family, if the family is somewhat, accepting, can direct somebody there, or even if somebody were to find it on their own because they're not getting the support at home, either way, um, it's going to help. I guess if I keep it on myself, it would have helped me, um, learn about myself,
Yeah.
because the thing I always look at now is, yeah, there's television shows and stuff like that, but how many heterosexual shows are there compared to how many, gay or bisexual or whatever, shows are there? So, just to have some familiar, um, you know,
Yeah.
presence around you, uh, would also be helpful, I think.
Yeah.
You always feel like, I guess, again, me, you know, community centers, are overwhelmingly for straight people. So, again, it's kind of like, when, I guess for myself, I guess what I'm trying to say is, we always have to try to identify and somehow fit ourselves in, rather than to just fit in. We have to like find that way to do it. So that's why I think a center would be good, at least to not have to do so much work, to just, be there and have others like yourself.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. To just be.
yes. Instead of, again, not so much conforming, but that, somehow you got to kind of like wiggle yourself in there
Yeah.
to try to fit in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I'm sure I still do it unconsciously as a 58-year-old, but as a young person, I'm sure it was all I tried to do, was try to fit my way in,
Yeah.
and not be too noticed too. So, if I could just be, if I could have been somewhere where I could have just taken a real deep breath and said, "Oh, look at this. Okay, others like me," it would have,
Yeah.
um, you know,
Yeah.
I think I keep making points, but I think my point would have been, I would have did a little bit more self-discovery and more, um, you know, exploration, acceptance of myself, if I wasn't working so hard on all the other stuff all the time. So
Yeah.
that's why I think a center would definitely be good.
Yeah. Just, yeah, a place for people to just be without any explanation, or without any needing to check off some number of boxes on the list, at least some, if not
Right.
all. Like,
Right.
well, can I at least, check off
Right. And
3 boxes on this list, or,
yeah. And the last thing I want to say is, without having to go to a bar or a club, a center, where there's no alcohol, where it's just, you know, you're truly being yourself. There's no drink to take or whatever to kind of make you feel more comfortable, but to
yeah,
kind of, have a different type of environment
yeah,
other than that
yeah,
would have been great. But
yeah,
because that's all I really had was clubs and gay bars.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. I think there would be there's so much opportunity in this vision that hopefully will become a reality. um, you know, I'm thinking about the resources, but then back to what you're, you know, beyond the resources, the safety, the, you know, the support,
Comfort, you know, just,
comfort,
yeah.
emotional support, and then like what you're speaking to now is like the fun,
Hmm.
you know, just networking and knowing people and hanging out, and
Right.
I um, my Tyler was involved in a center in New York City and took an art class there. And,
Hmm.
you know, it's ages ago and is still friends with that person. And that's just cool. Connections were made. And one of their favorite things about it was having a meal there. They would bring in food and people, the community people around, you know, whoever was, whatever people were around in the community center at that time would cook the food and have a meal together. Um, so I just think there would be so much power in that.
Hmm.
So yeah, if you could imagine one right now happening or being made or appearing, um, what would you imagine? You know, maybe the best part of it could be, or um, you know, a part that you would be most um, fulfilled to see there.
Um, I'm, you know, just, I guess, like a lot of the things that you just mentioned. I mean, to have some kind of fun, to have the, you know, support, um, to have people to talk to,
Yeah,
um, you
yeah,
know, to find out more resources, and, you know, because even, I mean, a community center um, would be a great thing. And, but yet then you have to go back out into the real world, you
yeah,
know, and, where, again, you're, you know, I don't want to say the word oddball, but you're like, you don't, you know, you're not like everybody else.
yeah,
So, you know, at least to have like a place where you could go and to be able to have fun, and to learn about what resources are out there,
yeah,
um,
yeah, and
you
then
know, would be a good thing too.
yeah,
There's
and then
more, you know, I'm sure there's more resources, um, that could be discussed in a place like that. If somebody were to wonder, um, you know, want a specific therapist that, you know, specializes in, you know, gay, lesbian, transgender, whatever,
yeah,
person, or, you know, if somebody needs legal rights, you
exactly.
know,
Great point.
stuff like that,
Yeah,
you know.
maybe, you know,
um
job interview training, or you know,
right,
it could just
right,
it could just grow. Um,
right.
and I think that the piece that I was interested in that you just said was about you know, walking still in on the streets of Bergen County. You know, they're still the way
Right,
they are,
right,
and versus
right,
this safe place where there's this atmosphere of being understood. But then this could be a place that could help people navigate that, um,
right,
you know,
right,
and and you know, deal with that, address that.
right,
Um,
right.
so, well, you've had some great ideas. Absolutely, you got me thinking even more about it, and so we'll hopefully be um, seeing it down the line. So um,
Okay,
I
good, good.
yeah, I think it would be you know, and I was saying before, if if a part of our community is is better, like mind, like mental well-being better, and healthier
Mhm.
and
Mm.
more confident. If one part of our community is like that, then our community is better.
Right,
And then our
right,
county's better. And then,
right, right.
it just grows
And
from there.
yeah, I mean, if somebody even just told me that, again, I'm an older woman now, but if somebody were to tell me as, a teenager or a young adult that different is not bad, you
Yeah.
know, it would have made a world of difference. I wouldn't have struggled as many decades as I did.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Well, maybe you'll find yourself an opportunity at the Future Center to communicate that to,
that would be great. Yeah.
people who might be there. So, yeah, let's stay optimistic. So
Okay.
I'll just end with a few final questions or notes.
Sure.
And that is that, do you feel comfortable with everything that you said here today?
Yes.
Okay. And this is going to be made into a video that will be um, a living, part of a living project on a website. And so do you consent for us to use this
Sure.
on our website
Yes.
that we sent you
Yes.
information about? Great, thanks. And so if any time you want that taken down, please just let us know. Give us a little bit of time and we'll take it down off our website. Just let us know. So
Okay.
thank you so much for this today.
You're welcome.
It's really it's really been inspiring. It gets me thinking when I talk to you. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask one of my friends. I have a gentleman in mind. I'm gonna ask him if he would be willing to do it. I'll let you know.
that would be great. That would be great.
Okay.
Thanks.